Hi, hello, it's me again, and today I'm making this video about a script I found that I made in, I think, December. Oh, wait, I can check. 20th of November 2020. So, originally, I made a video already. I found a piece of paper in my notepad, just by chance, and literally hours after making this video, I found a much better version of the same script that I wrote out. So I feel like everything I said in that video is quite good, and it annoys me because I'm gonna have to drop that. But I think to make the point that I'm trying to make, I want to be given the most honest part of it. I have to be more self-aware, and I think giving a story that I know just isn't the full story now is not right. And the issue I have is during that period, I'm pretty sure I had dissociation and some strong anxiety that just made it so my memory is just really bad in that period. I kind of feel a little bit disconnected from before then as well, but my memory's worse in between. Those are kind of just whoa, that happened a long time ago. But in that period, things kind of, I can't quite remember the order of everything. It takes a lot more thought to get back. But I was in a very negative state, and the video starts essentially just saying, so I went to the library today to work, got out of bed, got changed, took an hour bus, sat in the library, and I got nothing done. This is what I was doing a lot. Well, I was so stressed about uni work, didn't want to do it at all because I kind of wanted to be gone. I was like, what is it really worth doing this last year if I'm not feeling it, and I feel I can get jobs elsewhere, there are other ways. And I think it's just, I go to uni watching videos, and then I come back looking forward to watching some other video on my laptop, even though I was watching them on my phone on the way. And I was getting so stressed from these things. So I was like, these courseworks are piling up. I can't do them, but I can't get them out of my head. And I was saying about how in lockdown I did what I want, and now I complain about thinking about uni all the time. I feel like I couldn't skateboard as much, and I'm stressed about it all the time, which I guess I just said. And it's weird, I put a lot of blame on the uni. I will go on, so I say about, I found a confession page of someone complaining about how they weren't feeling like they could do art after they joined uni. And I was saying, uni is taking these things away from us. They're saying it's meant to allow you to grow as a person and gain skills to be more employable. And I said that uni killed my YouTube drive. And the video I recorded before, I was saying that I was not that self-aware about the fact that this was me. But here I actually did take a lot of honesty that it was my fault as well. I was kind of a mix between blaming myself and blaming uni, which is interesting because it's a kind of half self-awareness, which is when people say self-awareness is bad, it can make you more depressed. To me, I see that as you're not being self-aware enough. So there's kind of if you're not self-aware at all, you might just do anything and not care about it. And if you're a bit self-aware, you'll think about the worst possibility that could happen. You're like, if I say this to someone, I go and stop them in the street and ask for directions, they're gonna get mad. They're gonna find it really weird, and they're just gonna walk off or something, and it's gonna feel so awkward. I'm gonna be embarrassed. But if you were more self-aware, you would go, if someone asked me for directions, I would probably do the best to tell them. And most people are going to do that on average. Especially, it depends on your area as well. But I mean, even in nice areas, people get too scared to talk. Probably more in the nicer areas, because people are less likely to just want to speak. Now, what about how I'd gone all philosophical, lost all meaning, won't come back. Closest I can get is distracting myself from it. I say it hurt for a while. My early resolve to not do stuff because other people tell me to. I will have to do stuff that I enjoy and fulfills me. And I say that the stuff I've been promoted throughout first lockdown, which I was saying, why do we have to do things just because this is how it is? Now I think there's even more. But the issue I have in that period is I'm talking about how fulfillment, and I still do. I see, when I came back to YouTube, that was what I was talking about. But what was I saying in those videos? If you've seen them, I was talking about how I was very much going into instant pleasure. It's I was aware of what I should be doing, but not doing it. It is kind of some cognitive dissonance where I'm just so emotionally attached to being lazy, and self-relieving in just easy ways that don't take much effort, that I wasn't able to see this. I wasn't able to see how it is possible to change myself. And it's not a one-day thing, but it takes time. I said that uni took away from me. I lost motivation to do stuff I want, and I feel my priorities are wrong. I don't know what I mean on that. But it's interesting, you lost motivation, because now I see motivation is just, it's just you randomly get some hormones that's like, oh, let's do stuff. And the way you get more of those is by encouraging them. You get the hormones, and then you get the happiness hormones after doing stuff. Oh wow, okay. Body goes, you know what, how I'm going to get more happiness hormones? I put out the motivation hormones, so then they start doing stuff. I don't even know, like, this is metabiology, I'm just saying stuff. But I think, it makes sense. Human body is like, to me, is like mindless, but it does what it thinks it's meant to do. And that's, with addictions and withdrawals, it thinks that it needs to do these addictions to get the chemicals it needs, because it wants to have the positive emotions. Positive emotions lead to people doing more, leads to people, in building up better lives, keeping humans alive for longer, more likely to reproduce. But when they're taking it in these very pleasuring ways, that very easy, non-committal, is all short term. It's the easiest way to get the emotion. The body doesn't understand what it's doing, it just does it. It's not, it's separate. So it's like I'm blaming someone else for my motivation, when really it's just the biology of it. I guess it's some metabiology, if that's a word. And I said I'd already decided all the growth I needed to come in the first 2 years of uni, and I could slag off last year. Honestly, yeah. I think, I don't know, was I ready for the world of work? Who knows? Am I ready now? Who knows? I mean, I have a job again, and I had a job then, but I feel like my level of maturity has risen a lot more between there and now. But back then, I felt like my level of maturity between then and beginning of second year had risen by huge. It's like I'm making these exponentials, I guess. That sounds so cocky, but that's just how it is. Maybe this is gonna happen again next year, where I'll just have all these realizations. I'm gonna go, wow, where I'm living now, that was so bad. That was so unhealthy. It will always be better, as long as I keep trying to do better. I had slumps, but the main thing to do now is I need to recognize these slumps, so that I can fight them and do things about them. And here, I was recognizing the slump, and I wasn't picking the best options. I knew that they weren't the best options, but there was always these excuses, especially with porn. One more time, just this once. Oh, come on, that's a really good video. Can't have to watch that at least. And it never stops. Half the time they're not even that enjoyable anyway, because it's overstimulation. It's way too much. It's repetitive, and the content always kind of just gets a bit worse and worse as you're bored of all these other things you've seen a million times. It has to change. I'm pretty sure, no disrespect, I'm pretty sure this is how some fetishes start as well. Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but if they're unhealthy, they're unhealthy. And the only person you can really say for sure if it's unhealthy is yourself, because everyone else can have their opinions, but they never know what's going on in your mind. Now, I think I said 2 reasons for uni is just gain employable skills and learn about the things you're into. I think I just felt very negative. It's kind of like, I might skip some of the later points, I say the same things, but I felt like, the way uni is promoted, it's quite hard to get in, and once you get in, you have the options lining up. The issue is not how you're going to get a job, the issue is, which job am I going to pick? And I know this is true. I work with the uni on their welcome service. I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'd rather get in trouble saying the truth, because all they'll do is fire me. That's fine. But the way they're promoting uni, they are making it sound like it is the thing that will just, you get in, pass your exams, instant success. And that's just not how it is. Even, obviously, you get a 2-1, you got better chances. A lot more places require 2-1, but they're not going to care if you get 80. My dad disagrees. A lot of people disagree with this. And obviously some things with PhDs and masters, there are always exceptions to this. But for the most part, no one's going to care if you got an 80 on your exams. Yeah, a lot of it is self-pride. And I realised this with A-levels as well. A lot of it is just self-pride. No one really cares. Your friends don't care. Obviously they'll be nice about it if they're good friends. But then if they see you as a better person because of these letters, that should be a bad thing. Because it hasn't actually, like, apart from maybe seeing that, like, oh, you're a hard-working person. But if you were hard-working anyway, and you just messed up, and they saw you lower for that, what does that say? And I think I felt like if uni is meant to be this place where you grow, you learn things, and you become more employable, then surely the way it's being done is wrong. I feel like if you want to become an employable person, you can't just rely on the course to do that, which is counterintuitive, because whilst, yeah, they say join societies and do other stuff, they don't make it clear how important this actually is. So you go into uni thinking, oh, I'm going to go in, cool. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, like, what if I'd been told, from coming into uni, you do not need to decide what you want to do day one. However, it would be very wise to start thinking about it. Start thinking about what you enjoy. Start thinking about what direction you like to take your life. Start researching. Maybe start trying to think about how your hobbies are going to help you out so you can push those certain skills you need. Easy things that could be said that, you know, they might not work because, you know, we love our denial, we love being lazy, but it's just, you know, some idea that puts some emotional trigger in your brain that goes, hang on a second, maybe I could be doing more. It does annoy me, because I think back in the day maybe going to uni was a lot easier. But yeah, that event, the way they're selling it, you know, they make it sound hard to get into uni. Uni is easy to get in. So, like, you obviously is grades, but getting the offers to most unis is easy. Like, that's just a fact. You have the predicted grades, you get the offer. And they imply, you know, people asking, oh, if I do this degree, what opportunities can I get? And that's the issue. They're encouraging people to pick degrees based on opportunity and not based on interest. The opportunities you get from a physics degree and an engineering degree are the same if you're committed. Like, yeah, obviously if you want to become an engineer, you want to work with cars, you probably, you know, it might be easier if you've done engineering. But if you've done physics and you spend your own personal time reading, like, either way you will have to spend your own personal time looking into this. The degree will not teach you enough to have that genuine interest. You can still get a job without it, but you are putting yourself miles ahead by just making that little bit more effort, by doing a bit more reading, and you will probably make the exams easier anyway. It's like, well, you get the exam on, like, mechanics asking about cars. Oh, I know this. I was just learning it because it was fun. Yeah, that's the thing. I see people, like, when I'm going to be a teacher, if I'm going to see people picking degrees based on opportunities because they don't understand it. It's like, I'd say maths is probably a degree that gives you the most opportunities, because you do a maths degree, you can get any job. It's possible. You know, you do physics, you can't do a maths PhD, but maths could do the other way around. However, that doesn't mean maths gives the most skills. That just means it's possible, because you can have, like, not some degrees have that curve where if you haven't got mathematical skill, you can't do certain things. But if you didn't care to do that in the first place, it doesn't matter. If you never liked maths and you never want to do maths, you have no need for maths, because you can find other ways. And that's not made clear enough. It's just, oh, you do this degree, you won't get a job. It could be other reasons. Maybe people pick humanities they think is easier, so they're lazier on general. And then if they're lazier in general, they're not going to be as employable. I'm not going to speak too much more because it's kind of repeating ideas on this. And I don't want to make this video too long. The rest of it was kind of just me saying, like, my annoyance on how much uni is pushed. And, you know, stuff like I'm saying, like, how, like, the schools very much push you. You got to go to uni. There's someone who said, I don't want to go to uni. And they go, why don't you just write a personal statement anyway? It's like they're kind of just trying to push him into it, and then they'll be like, oh, you may as well just apply now. It's stupid. You know, some of this stuff that places do for reputation, or it's like, you convince someone to actually do something better for themselves rather than just going, like, fit what the statistics say. Probably, like, yeah, you probably get some lower stats, but then you get more people coming out that make this school look a lot better. Like my school had Amy Winehouse who went. Does that not make the school look good in any way? I guess they don't talk about it. They already talk about, oh look, percentage of A stars to A. You go to our school, you definitely get A star, because it's almost like it's not on you as well. Like, people seem to think that they see a school that hasn't got A stars in the subject, and that means that if they go to that school they can't. And that's not how it works. If anything, that attitude is probably part of why that school can't get it. Because people will see, oh, this school doesn't have smart people, guess I can't do well there. And I said stuff like, what, you spend 3 years unhappy to do a job, you go to uni, and then you spend 10 years working at a job you don't like for a chance to be happy. And I still agree with that. That you shouldn't do things you don't like if you don't actually know where it's going. Which is the thing I see with finance jobs. A lot of people go, oh, good money, 10 years in, and I'll be rich. I can quit if I want. And I think a lot of them probably don't, because if you just think, okay, yeah, I can do that, I'll quit. What are you gonna do? You need to think about what you're gonna do, because then you're just gonna keep going in. You're gonna keep holding yourself back, being like, oh well, I need more money. Can keep going more money. I'll just keep getting money whilst I decide. And you just avoid deciding and trying to think about what you want to do with your life. And your whole life just becomes convincing people to spend money at your bank firm so that you get a better raise. And I said, going to uni because you don't know what you want to do is probably better than just doing nothing. Doing nothing is the easiest way to just let your life derail itself. If you're staying at home and working, it's probably better than just sitting at home. But even if you're just doing a hobby, it's just something to give you direction, so that you kind of just don't just give up on life, because it's so easy to do it without even realizing that you've given up on life, which is weird. How can we do that? But it makes sense, where you just get so used to not doing anything that you don't think it's a necessity to do stuff. And yeah, I think these ideas are kind of just like, come to us, get success. Yeah, they don't tell you how you get that success. And obviously, if they told you how to get success and people listen to that, it wouldn't work anyway. Because eventually, enough people would oversaturate it that you wouldn't stick out anymore. So this is the thing that a lot of students do that's stupid. How do I stick out? If you have to ask how to stick out, whatever answer you follow will make you not stick out. Because you will seem the same as everyone else. Like, they don't see how this isn't a thing that people realise. I guess I didn't realise it either, so I shouldn't say that. But that's the thing. You want to stick out. Stick out. Don't do what everyone else is doing. If you, obviously sometimes it works, but most of the time it works because you've gotten yourself into a mindset of copying everyone so well. But in a way, you kind of are still doing what you want, just not with the meaning. The purpose is misplaced. So it probably, long term, probably will lead to imposter syndrome and, loneliness, and feelings of uncertainty. And sometimes you might just get lucky. Maybe all that fakeness you put on to fit the criteria, maybe someone picked up on it and gave you a better life because of it, and then you don't feel like you have to be fake anymore. But that's luck. Expecting things to go well for no reason is blind. Because it happens. And people actually get into bad habits because of these things. They do something bad and get rewarded for it. They go, oh, I guess I can keep doing these bad things. And eventually it catches up to you. Maybe that one act will not. But it will if you keep doing it. If you keep being, if you killed one person and got away with it, and then you went and killed 20, then people start going, okay, hang on a second, there are a lot of murders happening. There might be a few similarities as well. I don't know, I'm rambling now. I've made this video too long, but it is good to review myself. Even if people don't watch it the whole way, the fact that I've said it is I'm more likely to remember it. That's why I like writing. I've done pages of analysing my own thoughts, and I feel like just understanding emotions has made me a lot more intelligent, because emotions aren't as much of a choice as people like to credit it. Or maybe it's the opposite, I don't know, that people think they're not a choice. but they're not that much of a choice. A lot of it is just hormones that your body produces based on past experiences, and the difference is if you let it control you. And obviously if you're used to letting it control you, it's hard to change it, but with practice over time it can be fought, with a bit of trust and understanding that a lot of these things are just short-term fixes that your body thinks are the right thing, but it doesn't think on that way. It just goes for the, it's like it's just a plant or something. It's just stimulus responds to what it should do. Situational happiness is essentially just you acting on how your body responds to things. But if you're able to realize, these feelings of depression, just because you feel low, it doesn't mean you have to think that. Your thoughts, your intrusive thoughts, whoever are right, you can go, wow, I really think I'm a terrible person for some reason, but I can't, everything I think about, it doesn't seem to add up. Do I actually have reason to think this? Yeah, alright, I've made this too long. I'm gonna keep explaining things over and over and over again if I don't stop, so that's it. Let me know what you think. If you want to say anything, talk about yourself, or just comment on me, whatever. Goodbye.